Howdy, Eldritch Buddies. This is Kiwi Calamity, and today we are going on a 1.18 Minecraft seed hunt. I found 10 amazing seeds. Some of them were just practical, some of them looked... Number 4 is where it starts getting insane. But I do content like this all the time. I make tutorials with every update, I make ARGs, and the like. So, subscribe if you like the vibes. We'll be starting off simple at number 10. This seed combines two particularly rare biomes together, the old taiga / ancient taiga, whatever it's called, and the lush caves, because as you can see, if you go just a little bit further from spawn, you'll find an azalea tree and beneath it a vast network of the most gorgeous caves in the newest update. There's a couple of amethysts nearby, and all of them just beneath your feet. These caves are expansive, with some larger caverns and more noodlier caves, but you're going to have a delightful time building, caving, and the like. I mean, look at these waterfalls. And look at this weird, exposed geode. Be more modest, man. Jeez. How am I gonna get past the YouTube censors? Now, let's move on to number 9. Now I picked this seed partially because, oh yeah, you spawn in a nice mountain biome. You might die from frostbite. That's kind of cool. But as I was exploring out, I found something that was interesting in a way that I didn't think I would find. As you can see, here's one beehive. Here's 2, and if you thought that was it, that's not. Here is 3 total beehives in one area, as well as a nether portal nearby, and that's just a nice bonus overall. But I just thought 3 beehives is such a weirdly generated thing that somebody somewhere is going to want it. Additionally, these bees have way more to offer than you think, because right beneath the bees is this massive cave system that just keeps going, okay? You think this is about to end, you start getting into dripstone, and then wacky perspective dive, probably right down to the bottom of the world. Here's number 8. This one wasn't so dramatic when I first started out, but if you go right beneath spawn, a little bit further, boom, dripstone caves, right beneath your feet. Check that off your biome list. Then if you keep going down, more dripstone caves. Yeah, I know, that's not very impressive yet. But trust me, keep going down, and you will find some of the strangest mine shafts I have ever found. They just kind of all went nowhere. I didn't find any chests, I didn't find much of anything, really. And that might have been because I didn't explore it enough, but just, they were kind of eerie. Like, I've just been calling them the mine shafts to nowhere in my head, and I think that really fits because, like, these are just platforms in the middle of this giant cavern. Some of it's on fire. It's good for mining. I'm sure it's good for mining. But yeah, it's very weird. But anyway, let's get on to the main appeal of this particular seed. If you continue going in this direction, towards these general coordinates, you will actually find a village. And not just any village, but a village right on the cusp of a jungle. Now, you might be saying to yourself, that's not very dramatic so far. That's pretty normal, actually. I could find that in the old world. But, first of all, you have this nice hillside and nice river with these interesting just depths all around. And you'll be able to find iron and coal in these caves. Plus a little bit of dripstone, so that's nice. But if you go just a little bit further from the village, you will find a bamboo forest, one of the rarest biomes in the game, and an abandoned nether portal. Let's move on to number 7. And this one starts off fairly normal, except for the sheer scale of the frozen ocean right next to this. And I want to point out, large biomes is not on. And I believe the reason for this is, because of the new generation, cold biomes will spawn next to cold biomes more often. So if you want a winter wonderland, this seed is for you. Additionally, I found a couple of interesting villages. This one, pretty okay. It'll be a decent start for you, and it's fairly nearby. However, if you were to keep going, you would find this massive ice river. Just look how barren and creepy this looks. I love this aesthetic, but if you just keep going a little bit farther, you'll find actually the main attraction of this seed. Okay, this village doesn't look like much, I'm not gonna lie, but you'll see not only one, but two blacksmiths here. So if you want to get set up, head there. And now, number 6. By this point, we've run into a couple of frozen biomes, but none of them so rare as spawning right next to an ice spikes biome. While this biome doesn't offer anything quite so special at first, because it is from previous updates, it's when we get into the caves that we start to see something special. These caves go deep. And when I say deep, I mean almost down to the bottom of the world deep. So not only do you have access to these rare biomes, but also some really good caves right off the bat. And here's another one. Again, goes super deep. Even has a dripstone cave for boosted copper. It also has some very interesting generation in that it has this exposed geode and a mine shaft with a spider spawner, and just a lot of good things, particularly down in this cave. Let's move on to number 5. Now you've seen nothing yet, but number 5 starts us off with some very interesting frozen ocean generation. It almost looks like the frozen ocean was trying to spawn at the same time frozen peaks. But what we have right next to it, boom, convenient village. There's not a blacksmith here. However, having access to the food and the trading is what's going to be the real appeal here. Additionally, if you continue along the coast, you will find more taiga biomes, more frozen oceans, and yes, the old taiga biomes, which I just love because they look a little bit like Lego trees, but they're also really cool in their own way, as well as some mountains. Continuing along the other coast, on the other hand, you're going to see more frozen oceans, more of these strange half-frozen peaks, and the like, as well as this nether portal. Now, let's go on to number 4. Now, I want to point out, you've seen nothing until you've seen this. Immediately, right off the bat, insane generation. This cave that opens up to lush caves just beneath the pits of a dark oak forest. This thing looks like something out of a fantasy world. You're about to go fight a dragon. Not only that, but it's practical in terms of resources, extremely dangerous, but it's beautiful, it's practical, and it's one of the most insane caves that I found generated. Keep in mind though, this is nothing compared to number 1. However, even if you skip past that first generated insane cave, there's more to see in this seed. You will find this gorgeous excuse of a mountain peak. Just look at this sprawling expanse of a snowy slope leading right up to these beautiful, jagged mountains. Just think of all the things you could build here. And also this village. I completely forgot this was here, but think of all the things you could build here. This is gorgeous generation and an amazing example of what 1.18 is capable of. If anyone builds anything in any of these seeds, please send it to me on my Discord. I would love to see anything anybody does with any of these things I've found. Now, on to number 3. Number 3 starts off fairly plain. Oh yeah, we've seen birch trees. But have you seen a frozen outpost? Right off the bat, right next to a dark forest, boom, scenically posted up on this hill, an Illager outpost. I mean, just look at this. You could take this over and make this your base right off the bat. Granted, that's going to be a bit dangerous, but doesn't mean you can't try. I mean, just look at this thing. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Let me sell this real estate to you. Just beneath the mountain, as well, boom, lush caves. I swear, every time I'm not trying to find these, they're so common, but every time I am, so uncommon. Now, if you continue straight from the face of that outpost, bamboo forest, right there. Again, another biome I am always searching for in my worlds, but never can find. But boom, frozen peaks, bamboo forests, lush caves, all right next to each other. Now let's move on to number 2. Now even after the sheer splendor of the last few seeds, I don't think you're ready for this. This old taiga biome opens up into a beautiful, lush caves cavern. Look at this. We'll get to this weird bit of mineshaft later, don't you worry about it. But this is like a gigantic lush caves. Imagine making an evil layer out of this. Imagine trying to mine these resources. Imagine just trying to make any sort of base here. I don't care if you're making a dirt shack. I think just living here in your Minecraft world is going to make it have appeal anywhere. And I mean, look at this. This thing is like open to the freaking world. I don't know how this generation happened. I assume it's kind of a glitch, but it's gorgeous. And anyway, like I said, mineshaft. Also, right here, right next to these expansive, lush caves. I've been using expansive a lot, but you get my point. I am genuinely so excited about this seed. And also, dripstone caves, less important. Look how pretty this is. You're gonna have some resources, you're gonna have beauty. There's not much that could top this seed, but believe me, number 1 does. And now finally, number 1. Number 1 is not the prettiest seed, but right off the bat, you can see how much value this seed has. Badlands, mountains, right next to you on either side. This seed is gorgeous and it is resource heavy, and that is why I chose it for number 1. It's not as dramatic as many of the other seeds, but this Badlands biome is massive. It has dripstone caves, it has everything. And for those of you who know how ore distribution works, this is going to make you resource heavy in every single resource you could want. Iron, mountains, emerald, mountains, gold, Badlands galore. Like, this Badlands biome is huge, and these dripstone caves are scattered throughout it. Just look at the sheer amount of copper right here alone. There are these gorgeous canyons with rivers cutting right through them. There are caves interlaced through the terracotta. There is gold everywhere. You are going to be set from day 1 if you use this seed properly. And let me just show you the mountains that are right next to it. I'm pretty sure I just missed an abandoned portal right over there to the right. But look at all this iron, okay? Look at all this coal. You are going to want for nothing in this seed. It is the best seed for just a beginning start to it all. And if you go further in this seed, if you dare to venture further, there are bamboo forests in these beautiful hills. It's considerably farther from spawn, but I found these and I figured people would want and need to know about them. Because this build is gorgeous. You could start off in the Badlands and then just go here. I mean, there is obvious appeal here with pandas and just gorgeous scenery. But thank you so much, everybody, for coming on this Minecraft seed hunt with me. If you enjoyed, remember, subscribe if you like the vibes. Bye-bye!